The S&P 500 daily cloud chart shows the lagging line 26 bars back nailed the baseline 26 bars back, and the baseline remains at that level for a few more days and then takes a slight dip down, then planes out again. Price in the pre-market hours for the S&P 500 at 8:19 a.m. Central Time on the 8th is 43.86, and that price has it slightly below the 100 simple moving average, 4402.73, and the 50 simple moving average at 4345.74. So right in between there. And the disqualified by TDST is at 4393.57. And I've done something I haven't done for at least 3 years. I changed the average true range parameter for the Stoller average range channel, or Stark bands, from 1.5 to 2.0. And I don't do that on a whim and had to give it some deep thought, but since this run was absolutely incredible and things are getting clearer through the woods, we can see the meadow for sure, and we're near the tree line to get out. So I bumped it up, as there's several $trillion on the sidelines in money market funds for traders and investors to pour into the stock market. So we raised that bar on the Stark bands, and it's at 4414.25 for today. And that's close to the upper Bollinger Band, 4420.56. So getting near there. It's near the top of the cloud. So 4411.76 for the top of the cloud. So there's some resistance there at the top of the cloud and beyond a little bit. So I still see the S&P 500 daily chart cruising in the cloud for a little while, until CPI report on the 14th, Tuesday. And it looks like price is still slightly above the channel 3 high, so that's the 4th day in a row that it's done that. And 5 is the upper limit. I've seen 6 and 7 on impulsive moves like this, especially after CPI, if the CPI comes in good. Yeah, so 5 or 6 at the most, and this is the 4th, so let's keep an eye on that. Could go sideways and then have the upper channel 3 high get above price a little bit there. And the conversion line for the cloud current price is creeping up to the baseline there. So it's still just a couple of points below it. Maybe it'll move up today with some green on the screen like we have it in the pre-market hours. And price printed the combo and sequential sell sit-up 6 count. And to negate that for end of day on the 8th, there must be a close below 4317.78 for the price flip back to the buy setup count 1. And that would be disastrous, as this sell setup count is almost completed. So that's for today. And if it stays above that for today for close, then tomorrow it has to stay above 4358.34 for the 8th sell setup count. And then the big one, 4347.53, needs to stay above that to print the 9 end count. And if that happens, this sequential by countdown 10 sequence will be negated along with the combo 12. The Shande momentum indicator finally poked its nose above zero pretty good to 12.28 positive, and the ATM slow trigger up has met the fast trigger up above overbought 75. So they both need to stay above that for a while. We could go sideways for a while and those will still stay up there. And then on a good CPI report on Tuesday, we'll head out of the cloud more than likely. Bad CPI report, and everything is opposite of that. And the DM1 is creeping up to the overbought line here at 60. So it needs to get above that. ROC has already done that, so ideally we get both of these, DM1 and ROC, sailing above their overbought. REI comes down and seeks neutral 0, and then you can make a decision after that. If there's a pullback, then we wait for the REI to go under the oversold negative 40, while the DM1 and ROC are sailing above oversold. And then within 5 days, if REI can bump back up above oversold, then that's another buy signal. And that's way in the future. We'll keep an eye on that. And it's good to see the DMI plus take a little bit of a tick up, and the DMI minus take a little bit of a trajectory down. So this is looking good. And it looks like that the ADX directional movement index wants to plane out. It's above 20 at 24.67. So if this can get an upwards trajectory and stay above 20, then we're going to have a strong up move, and we'll be in the midst of that.